Okay, so let's talk about Mauricio Umansky. He's still separated from Kyle Richards. It's been nearly 2 years.
Yeah, almost 2 years since that announcement after, 27 years of marriage and 3 kids.
Right. And now he's been photographed getting, well, pretty cozy with some mystery women.
Uh-huh. And this isn't exactly the first time his post-separation dating life has hit the headlines, is it?
Not at all. So just this week, actually, photos popped up showing him in L.A. with a blonde woman.
Okay.
And the reports say he was kissing her, grabbing her behind, even picking her up.
Wow, okay.
The outlet reporting it specifically mentioned she looked, quote, way younger.
Oof.
And beyond just the more intense physical stuff, he was apparently also holding her hand, gave her his jacket.
So it's suggesting a bit more than just a, fleeting moment. It sounds like some kind of date or connection.
Exactly. And as you'd expect, the online reactions are just all over the place.
I can imagine. What are people saying?
Well, you've got one side, the sort of good for him, let him live crowd. Some are even bringing up the rumors about Kyle and Morgan Wade as, like, justification. But then you have the other side, people being quite critical.
Saying what? Slow down.
Yeah, basically saying maybe wait until the divorce is actually final before these kinds of public displays. Someone literally commented, get a divorce already. And this isn't an isolated thing, right? This latest appearance. It follows other connections we've heard about since the separation.
Mm-hmm. Who else was mentioned?
Okay, so reports mentioned Nikita Khan. Remember the photos from Greece last summer, supposedly kissing her?
Yes, I recall that.
Then the Brazilian singer Anitta was linked to him for a bit.
Okay.
Also his Dancing with the Stars partner, Emma Slater. There were rumors there.
Mm-hmm.
And a model named Claudia Kay.
So quite a few names floating around in the past couple years.
But it does bring up the big question, why haven't they finalized the divorce? It's been dragging on.
Right. Almost 2 years is a significant amount of time for a separation.
Well, according to an insider source back in March, the holdup is apparently financial. Their assets are all tied up together.
Okay. After 27 years, especially with the kind of lifestyle and businesses they likely have, untangling finances is incredibly complex.
Yeah, you can imagine. It's not just dividing up a house, probably businesses, investments.
Exactly. Valuations, negotiations. It can take a very, very long time. It's often the main sticking point in high asset divorces.
But interestingly, the same insider said that despite this delay, there's like 0 chance they're getting back together.
Okay, so reconciliation is off the table, according to this source.
Apparently. The focus for both of them is supposedly just getting the divorce done so they can move into a new normal.
Right. And what about the family aspect?
Yeah, that was mentioned too. They want to maintain family time, co-parent effectively. It sounds like they're trying to keep things stable for the kids.
Yeah.
Despite the legal stuff.
Which is, the ideal scenario, but often really hard to achieve when you're simultaneously going through the emotional and legal complexities of a divorce.
Absolutely. And that kind of brings us to the really fascinating part here, doesn't it? This huge contrast.
What contrast specifically?
Between these very public, seemingly carefree displays of affection from Mauricio and the reality of this ongoing, complicated, drawn-out legal process to end a 27-year marriage.
Yes, that is a stark difference.
Okay, next update we have about the Valley. Sounds like it might be in trouble.
That's the buzz, yeah. Talk of a big cast shakeup or even hitting pause on the show.
Why? Low ratings.
Apparently, reports say the ratings have been sliding downwards pretty steadily since it premiered. That always makes networks nervous.
So now they're talking about who might not come back for season 3 if there is one.
Exactly. And there are rumors flying around about Scheana Shay and Lala Kent maybe stepping up from guest spots to full-time roles.
Oh, interesting.
Could be a strategy to boost interest using established names. There's also talk that network execs are concerned about Jax Taylor's behavior.
So what makes spin-offs like this work or not work?
Spin-offs are tricky. They need to feel familiar enough to draw fans of the original, but also fresh enough to stand on their own. You need compelling people and stories, these potential changes. It sounds like they know something needs to fix, or the show might not continue. They're trying to find the right formula.
Right, trying to keep it alive.
Yeah.
Let's start with RHONY, the Real Housewives of New York City. Those rumors about it being canceled, looks like they jumped the gun a bit.
Yeah, seems like it. Andy Cohen actually came out and said they're right in the middle of the casting process.
And Bravo execs met with, 10 potential new people?
Yeah, that sounds like they're serious about figuring out the next season's mix, not just, tweaking things.
And the current cast members, Jessel Tank, Saida Silva, Uba Hassan, they've been reacting online too. Jessel even posted something like, thanks for the condolences. Kind of cheeky.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, clearly signaling they expect to be back.
And Bethenny Frankel weighed in about why she thought the last version maybe didn't click.
She did. Her take was that it became too glossy and curated, lost the focus on, like, real friendships.
Interesting point. So what does all this active casting and the cast reactions sort of tell us about where RHO and Y might be heading?
Well, it suggests Bravo's definitely not giving up on it. They're likely trying to find that right balance, maybe bringing in new energy, but, keeping some familiar faces. They're clearly thinking hard about the group chemistry.
Trying to recapture some of that original magic, maybe?
Could be. Learning from last season's feedback, perhaps.
Okay. Next update we have about Dorit, Kemsley, and PK. Their divorce seems to be heating up.
Yeah, sounds like it. PK has hired Marci Levine.
The attorney who represented Britney Spears against K-Fed. That's a big move.
Hiring someone with that kind of profile usually means you're preparing for things to get contentious.
And initially, Dorit wanted sole custody, right? And spousal support.
That was her filing, yeah. Sole legal and physical custody plus support.
But PK is firing back now. He wants joint custody.
And he's asking the court to deny her request for spousal support. He's also waiving his right to ask for it himself.
So definitely drawing lines in the sand there.
Absolutely. And then there's the financial layer.
Oh yeah, the house. They nearly lost the Encino mansion to foreclosure recently.
That's the report. And the LLC that owns the house, which is apparently linked to Dorit, got suspended by the state franchise tax board.
Wow, okay.
A suspended LLC could really tangle up dividing assets.
So how does PK bringing in this high-powered lawyer potentially change things, especially with these money troubles hanging over them?
Well, having Levine could mean PK takes a much more aggressive stance on both custody and the finances. Her experience might help him navigate, how to argue things given their reported financial situation. It could get complex.
Yeah, sounds like it. Next update we have about Gina Kirschenheiter from Orange County. She's now caught up in a legal thing between her boyfriend, Travis Mullen, and his ex-wife.
Travis filed an emergency motion, apparently trying to get full custody of their kids.
And the reason? He's claiming concerns about Meghan's alleged drug use, missed tests.
Yeah, pretty serious stuff. He also claims she's interfered with his custody time before, even reported her to the police multiple times. Custody courts take allegations like that very seriously.
But Meghan's responded with her own accusations against both Travis and Gina.
She has. She's saying the kids are actually afraid of both of them.
And she claims Gina mocked one of their sons about his weight and name and talks badly about Meghan around the kids.
That's what Meghan is alleging, yeah. Creating tension, she says. Those are damaging claims, especially involving kids.
Meghan also claims Travis was intimidating during their marriage, made false claims about her drug use back then, too.
Uh-huh. And she says she has been complying with drug testing. She even suggested maybe Travis and Gina should be tested too, mentioning their own concerning behaviors.
So it's turned into a real he said, she said. Okay, next update we have about Lala Kent from Vanderpump Rules. She's been really open about an issue with her eye.
Yeah, she shared that after getting misdiagnosed initially, she got a second opinion.
And a biopsy showed pre-cancerous cells.
That's right, in her eye.
Yeah.
Which must have been incredibly scary.
She said it was terrifying. Now she's starting treatment.
She's been prescribed chemotherapy drops.
Right.
For 3 months is the plan. Hoping that clears the cells up.
And if not, surgery might be needed.
That's the next step, yeah. But she's moving forward with the drops first.
How do you think that kind of openness about a health scare lands with her audience?
I think it can really resonate. It makes her seem more human, more vulnerable. People connect with that authenticity, especially when someone's facing something frightening like a pre-cancer diagnosis. It probably deepens her connection with a lot of viewers.
Yeah, I could see that. Okay, switching gears again. Sanja Morgan, a little restaurant drama in New York.
Ah, yes, the Tucci incident. Reports say she got banned.
Apparently, yeah. Sanja's side is different, though. She called it a miscommunication.
Right. She said she thought the dinner was like an exchange for a social media post, a promotion.
And then she posted a screenshot of an invite from another restaurant, almost like a rebuttal.
Seems like it. And she commented somewhere that she felt lost in all the drama.
Okay, let's hop across the pond. Real Housewives of London news.
Hayu is getting ready to announce the full cast for the new version.
And we already know one person returning, right? Juliet Angus from the old Ladies of London.
That's confirmed, yeah. Chanel Ayan from Dubai actually let it slip in a comment. Juliet was definitely a fan favorite, so bringing her back makes sense. Good anchor.
Smart move. And who else is potentially in the mix? Some interesting names mentioned.
There are rumors about, a fashion designer, Karen Loderick-Peace, Nessie Welshinger, who won Great British Bake Off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A socialite named Panthea Parker, apparently friends with J.Lo. Amanda Cronin, who's a multimillionaire. And another Juliet Mayhew, who's Australian-born.
That's quite a varied group. Bake-Off winner, socialites, designers.
It sounds like they're aiming for a really diverse mix of backgrounds and lifestyles. That usually fuels good drama in the housewives world.
So what generally makes these international franchises succeed? And how might this specific London mix work out?
Success often comes down to capturing the local flavor, the specific social scene, the culture of that city, while still giving viewers the drama and lifestyle stuff they expect from the brand. This mix of a familiar face like Juliet Angus with all these potentially very different new women could be really interesting for London. We'll have to see.
Definitely one to watch. Okay, next update we have about Scheana Shay again. She addressed those rumors about pay for appearing on The Valley.
Right. The ones claiming she, Lala, and Tom Schwartz weren't paid for their guest spots.
She shut that down pretty firmly. Said she doesn't ever work for free, and the salary numbers floating around were 100% inaccurate.
Yeah. Understandable. She'd want to correct the record on her professional dealings.
But she also opened up about something much more personal, her mental health.
She did. She talked about struggling with depression for about 6 months. She thinks it might have started around the time she did The Masked Singer.
Really? She linked it to that?
Yeah, she described having a meltdown after getting eliminated quickly, feeling like she wasn't good enough.
And she mentioned adjusting her medication.
For depression. And she also acknowledged that even though she felt ready for Vanderpump Rules to end its long run, that transition still contributed to how she was feeling emotionally.
Wow. That's a lot to unpack. How does her being so transparent about this, the depression, the medication, how might that affect her relationship with her audience?
I think that kind of vulnerability, like we talked about with Lala, can really forge a stronger bond. People appreciate honesty about mental health struggles. It makes her relatable, and it helps reduce stigma. It shows the reality behind the reality TV persona.
Absolutely. Okay, finally, let's talk about Teddi Mellencamp. She shared some positive news about her cancer treatment.
Yes, some really good news, as she put it. The scans showed the tumors in her lungs are shrinking.
That's fantastic.
It really is. One is apparently barely visible now. It means the immunotherapy treatment seems to be working well for her.
So what's the plan now? More treatment?
Yeah, she'll continue the immunotherapy every 4 weeks for the next 2 years, it sounds like, and scans every 3 weeks to keep monitoring things.
So good news, but not quite remission yet.
Exactly. It's positive progress, but an ongoing process. And her doctor also confirmed she still can't drive for another few months because of that seizure she had recently.
Right. And did she say anything about possibly returning to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
She addressed it, yeah. Basically said she has no idea. But then added a little tease, timing is everything.
Leaving the door open, maybe.
Sounds like it. Not ruling it out, depending on her health and everything else, I guess.
Well, this update on her health, the shrinking tumors, that must be incredibly inspiring for people going through similar things.
Oh, absolutely. Sharing the ups and downs and then sharing positive news like this. It offers a lot of hope and shows resilience. It's powerful.
Definitely. And for you listening, how does hearing all this maybe change how you see these individuals or the shows? Does anything stand out? What bigger questions does it make you think about when it comes to reality TV and the people living these lives so publicly?